Feeling on the inhale, imagining that three-dimensional expansion of your breath. Maybe for the first few times, just keeping it in your torso to imagine the breath expanding from crown to sacrum, from your front body to your back body. And on the exhale, your breath finds that central point, maybe at your navel center, just above your belly button. Maybe for you, it's in your heart center. But imagining as the breath comes back to that central point that there's light there, bright, healing light. And then as you inhale, that light expands through your body, maybe even beyond your physical body into your energy field surrounding your body as it exhales back into that central point. And coming to find your intention for practice this morning. Perhaps it's an intention that you could carry with you for the rest of the day or the next few days. Maybe try to link that intention to this expansive breath feeling so that when you are reminded of your intention, it also reminds you to breathe so fully and hopefully feel the nurturing that comes when we allow our natural breath to be relaxed and expand in the way that it's meant to. I think we all know that feeling of walking outside after being inside for a long time and that hit of fresh air. And it makes us take a deep breath. And we can feel how that's clearing out all the stuffy breath air from being inside for too long. But each deep breath can have that clearing, cleansing property to it. But taking in these words that I shared last week, but I think it's just such a beautiful poem that I want to share it again to set the tone for our practice this morning. This is Mark Nepo's poem, Adrift. I think is fitting around the holidays. Everything is beautiful and I am so sad. This is how the heart makes a duet of wonder and grief. The light spraying through the lace of the fern is as delicate as the fibers of memory, forming their web around the knot in my throat. The breeze makes the birds move from branch to branch as this ache makes me look for those I've lost in the next room. in the next song, in the laugh of the next stranger. In the very center, under it all, what we have that no one can take away, and all that we've lost face each other. It is there that I'm adrift, feeling punctured by a holiness that exists inside everything. I am so sad, and everything is beautiful. So let's just slowly transition here right to our backs, lying on our backs. You can keep the eyes gently closed as you make your transition. So from lying on your back, let's take a big stretch out long. If it feels okay to straighten your legs on the floor, you can do that. Take a big stretch here. And then let's exhale and bring the left knee to the chest. And then inhale, extend. And exhale, right knee to the chest. Let's move through this at your own pace, timing the inhale with the expansion, and then the exhale with the opposite knee to the chest. You can slow it down if you want to really explore the stretch in the hip, or keep it moving. This is known as the wind relieving pose. So by compressing our knee to our chest, we're giving some gentle pressure to our colon, upper and lower intestines. It's like the gentle belly massage that you may have done for your kids when they were babies, or for yourself if you're having tightness in the belly. This is just another way to get to that massaging. So the next time you find your left knee to your chest, let's hold it here. Notice if you've clamped down and pulled in too tightly. Can you back that off? And find that three-dimensional breath here. Maybe roll out the ankle of the left foot to remind you not to grip too hard. If you start to hear some gurgling in your belly in this class on digestion, that's a good thing. That means your digestive tract is awake and alive, receiving the prana. Let's inhale and extend. And exhale, we'll bring the right knee to the chest. Again, notice if you go right into a really tight pull it might be your habit here. Can you back that off? And notice how the stretch, maybe now you can find the depth of the stretch without the forcing, and allowing room for your belly to expand here, receiving the breath. Imagining that three-dimensional breath really working its way into the colon. And let's inhale, everything expands. And exhale, we'll bring both knees to the chest. First, but giving yourself a little hug. Maybe Chin lifts off the floor, so you're in a little hedgehog ball. And then head and neck release to the floor. Hands come to the knees. Let's circle out the sacrum here. Knees are moving in a circle, hands on the kneecaps. Feeling. Can you slow this down enough that you actually can picture the sacrum making contact with the floor on the perimeter of the bony structure? And then reverse the direction of your circles. And then both feet come to the floor. We're going to do an abdominal exercise here that has a fancy Sanskrit name. I'll share it with you. It's called Pavan Sadham Kriya. Okay, Pavan Sadham Kriya. So hands can come either by the hips, or if you're having some trouble with your lower back, you might lift your pelvis and put your seat right on your hands here, or hands next to the hips. We're going to lift the feet on an inhale first to 90 degrees, and then find in your body where 45 degrees would be, right? 45 degrees, halfway between all the way on the floor and all the way at 90 degrees, and then come up to 60 degrees. So we're just guesstimating here. So from this point, we're going to inhale, knees come to the belly and hold. Hands stay on the ground, actually. And then exhale, knees, feet straight out to 60 degrees. Inhale to the belly again. Exhale to the floor, feet on the floor. So we'll do this a few times. So, yeah, I may have gotten that. Let me check one thing. Yeah, I think it's actually, we're going to inhale, legs extend. Exhale, knees come to the chest. Inhale, legs extend to 60 degrees. Exhale, knees to the chest one more time. Inhale, 60 degrees. Exhale, knees to the chest and feet to the floor. Okay, so this is detoxifying for the liver, holding that, pumping from 60 degrees in and out. So we'll do that series two more times. So inhale, legs extend to 60 degrees. Exhale, knees to the chest. Inhale, 60 degrees. Exhale, knees to the chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, chest. And then feet to the floor. We'll do this one more time, but let's take a break here. Hands come to the belly. Feeling again for that expansive breath. Imagining the work happening in your digestive organs. Thanking your digestive tract for all the work it does for us, even if it's not perfect. And then hands come back to the floor, and we'll inhale, feet to 60 degrees. Exhale, knees to the chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knees to the chest and feet to the floor. Great, and then we'll bring our knees back to the chest, and if it's safe in your back to do some spinal rocking, we'll rock our way, taking a few rocks here, really feeling the length of the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, curling on the floor, and find your way to seated. If it's okay in your body to sit in a cross-legged position, we'll come to that. If not, this can be done with feet out front too. So taking here a different take on the spinal circles, we're going to circle on the sitting bone, imagining you had a straight line coming all through your spine, and that your whole spine is moving as one unit as you start with some medium-sized circles, maybe making that movement a little bit bigger so that you're leaning out towards your knees, and then can lean back using your hands on your knees to circle in the back. We're stirring the pot here. So much of our energy comes from the base of our spine and our root chakra. Let's reverse the direction of the circles. And when we take time to give attention to this movement that comes from the root up, we can kind of access our full potential for energy and get all of our systems, our digestive system, working in tandem with all of our other systems. Let's see if we can make our circles get smaller here. Maybe so that it's just imperceptible, that you're even moving in a circular motion on your sits bones. And then bringing that to stillness. Let's take a few cat-cow tilts here. So leaning back in a cat posture, and then inhaling forward to cow. Exhaling, belly draws back towards spine, chin comes to chest, cat pose. And inhaling cow. One more time each way. Next time you find yourself in that belly coming back towards spine, leaning back here, chin drops to chest. See if you can invite the breath into the backs of the shoulder blades. Maybe you add some gentle movement of your head here to be starting to get into some tight places in the neck. And then inhaling to center. Let's bring both hands towards the mat, and then we'll inhale, left arm lifts towards the sky, and exhale, side bend to the right. Staying here for a few breaths just to feeling that left hip staying rooted on the floor. Opening through those left ribs, imagining all the organs being protected by the ribs. Inhale, both arms lift towards the sky. Exhale, left hand comes to the floor. Side bend to the left. Feeling how on the inhale, you lift just slightly, and then exhale brings you a little more fully into the stretch. If you're having any sensitivity in your shoulders here, you can release the arm and maybe just circle it out. Inviting some movement into the shoulders. Let's do that on the other side. We don't want to leave the left shoulder out. So when in your own time, both arms reach to the center, right hand comes to the floor. Exhale, side bend to the right, and start making some circles with that left shoulder. It can feel nice to bring the left elbow towards the right thigh, feeling a little twist and a stretch in that right down the back side of the left side of the body. And then we'll bring an inhale, brings us to both arms lifted, and exhale will take us twist towards the right, using your left hand to help bring you into the twist as the left hand comes to the outside of the right leg. Inhaling at center, exhaling, releasing everything but the twist in the belly, releasing your grip. Bringing your gaze towards the right, and then gaze looks over the left shoulder to add a double twist here. And then we'll inhale, both hands lift towards the sky, and exhale, twisting to the left. Left hand comes down behind the hip, right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Inhaling at center, exhale, belly moves into the twist. Gaze can be over the left, towards the left. Inhaling, staying here, just inviting breath, and exhaling, softening everything except that twist, feeling the breath expand in the belly. Gaze can begin to look over the right shoulder, if that's safe in your neck. And then exhale, we'll bring both hands to lift towards center. Inhaling here, and exhale, hands move through heart center. Hands come to the heart. Take a minute here to remember your intention. Take a minute also to remember to bring levity into your practice. Good reminder not to take ourselves so seriously at this point in our class. Let's move over into tabletop pose. So hands and knees come to the floor. Hands are in line with knees. Let's take first just one round of cat-cow here. So belly drops into cow pose, and inhaling into cat pose. And then exhaling back to child's pose. And from here, we're going to let the hands slide out as the hips lift almost to straight 90 degrees from the hamstring to the calf. And then maybe coming up on fingertips here, allowing the chest to settle back towards the floor, head releases, feeling a big opening in the front side of the chest, across the sternum, under the armpits. You could always use a block here if your forehead isn't coming close to the floor. Just breathing here. Feeling the stretch access under the front of the ribs, the diaphragm. And then let's inhale, hands and knees. Toes curl under, and lifting the hips back into downward dog. Walking out one foot and then the other, releasing into the heels. And then slowly walking feet towards hands, finding yourself in a rag doll. And hands can find the opposite elbow. Allow your whole torso to nod yes. And then swing into no. Side to side. Deep bend in the knees as we allow the hands to release. Head stays low, just vertebrae by vertebrae. We lift so slowly to standing. Head is the last thing to come up. Slow race here. Finding your way to standing. And let's take a few rounds here of Kapalabhati, or breath of fire. So the breath of fire, we'll practice it if you put your hand, one hand on your belly and one hand on your lower back. Knees can be slightly bent. The breath of fire pranayama is a sharp exhale and a passive inhale. So it sounds like this. And I'm pumping my stomach towards my spine. So we'll do that. First, we'll start in standing. So everybody can take an inhale in, bend in the knees, exhale, begin breath of fire. Inhale, straighten. Allow your eyes to close or soft gaze at the floor. Feel how breath of fire is heating us up already. Notice if you got a little dizzy from that, you can slow your breath of fire down. This time, we're going to inhale, hands lift, and then sit back into a chair pose. So knees are, I can see my toes just below my knees are in line with each other. We'll inhale here, and then breath of fire. Make sure you're protecting your low back. You don't have too much of a curve here, pulling your pelvis in slightly. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands move through heart center. Pausing and noticing. Notice any sensations, any emotions that might have stirred up, colors or words. Just notice and let it go. And then we'll inhale, arms lift again. Exhale, hands come behind, bring us back into chair pose. Feeling here in chair pose that firm connection of the inner arches on the floor, making a long line up the inner lines of the legs. The pelvis is slightly tilted in, anterior tilt to protect the low back. Feeling the work of the legs, holding the torso. Let's inhale, stand, exhale, forward fold. And then we'll inhale the back to a straight back, halfway lift. And exhale, left foot steps back. And then right foot steps back to meet left, finding your way into a high lunge here, or a high plank here. And then moving through your vinyasa. Maybe knees come to the ground, elbows bend into a low cobra. So feeling a feet on the floor, pubic bone making contact, elbows are back by the ribs, inhaling into your gentle back bend. Exhale, forehead comes to the floor. We're going to move into this back bend 2 more times. It's a great stretch to the front of the all the abdominal organs. So feet make contact with the floor, feeling your pelvis push into the floor, hands connect, shoulder blades on the back. We'll inhale, head, shoulders lift. Taking a full round of breath here. Exhale, forehead to the floor. Let it all go before you re-engage from feet, pelvis, shoulder blades, hands, elbows are back by the ribs. We'll inhale into your back bend, feeling the hands supporting the low back, feeling the feet press into the ground, inviting breath into the belly. And exhale, toes curl under. We'll lift our way back up into downward dog. Feeling here, your head move back between your arms. Ears could touch your biceps. Feeling your fingertips engage on the mat to take some pressure out of the wrists. And then we'll inhale, lift the left leg into 3-legged dog, and then stepping into setting up for warrior 2. That left leg steps between the hands, left heel intersects with the arch of the right foot. And we'll inhale, lifting into warrior 2. So in warrior 2 pose, feeling that you're not reaching too far into the future or hanging out way in the past, finding your central aligned spine. We'll inhale, right hand comes to the right leg as left arm reaches, reverse warrior. And then exhale, left elbow comes to left thigh. Right arm reaches either straight towards the sky or towards the front of your mat. Feeling a big opening along the right side of the hip flexor. Feeling a nice opening on the right ribs. All of those organs receiving breath. And then we'll inhale back to warrior 2 and exhale, hands cartwheel to the floor. Left foot steps back, plank pose. Knees come to the floor, elbows bend, moving through your vinyasa, lifting to your back bend, toes curl under, downward dog. And then on an inhale, right foot lifts towards the sky. Exhale, right foot steps between the hands. Left foot turns to be the outside of the left foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And there's a straight line between the right heel and the left arch. On an inhale, we'll lift into warrior 2. Right knee over the right ankle. Again, noticing if you're reaching, can you pull your spine in right in alignment over the hips? Feeling the outside of the left foot really help create some lift through the back leg. And then we'll inhale, right hand lifts towards the sky, leaning back, reverse warrior. Receiving breath here. Exhale, right forearm comes to the right thigh. The left arm lifts either straight towards the sky or towards the front of your mat. allowing your firmly planted feet to be supporting the lift in your torso, feeling and receiving the stretch here on the left side body. Where can you let go of holding in order to allow the breath to fully expand in the body here? And then we'll inhale to warrior two and exhale, hands cartwheel to the floor. And then finding some levity in that back foot. Can you bounce that back foot up to meet the right foot? Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Then knees bend, hands scoop from the earth energy, healing waters up, lifting above your head. And then let's pour all of that healing energy from the earth right down, right through our system, physical body, emotional body. And just receive here. Remembering your intention. Let's inhale, hands lift again to the sky. Exhale, knees bend, finding our way into forward fold here. Maybe in this forward fold, your hands come to the backs of your shins, the backs of your calves, and your elbows kind of tuck in here. Knees can be very bent. Can you let your head release and find your way into this deep forward bend? Forward folds are great ways to relieve tension in our digestive tract. If we can hold them for a little bit longer, we allow the work of the pose to really integrate deep into our organs. But the key here is to feel supported. So if your balance is feeling a little tippy, your feet can come wider apart. You can bring your hands to the floor if balance is an issue. You can bring your hands to blocks if you need a little more height here. So we're providing compression to the digestive organs while inviting opening along the backs of the legs. And then if it's safe in your knees, to make your way down through a squat pose. Just briefly pausing here in the squat before finding your way onto your back once again. Knees can be bent, feet flat on the floor. And we'll just move here through a few bridge flows and then getting ready for Shavasana. So hands are flat on the floor, kind of close to our heels if possible. And on an inhale, arms are going to lift as hips lift. I'm going to try to time this motion so that the hips are at their highest point when the arms come to the floor, maybe come to the floor behind us. And then same thing on the exhale. Hands and hips move towards the floor, but the hands have farther to go. So it's a little bit of a mental game in getting the timing right. So we'll do that 2 more times, your own pace. Inhale brings you to lift arms and hips Feeling this nice opening along the front side of the body, strength from the back body. Exhale brings you back to the floor. And last time, lifting and releasing. Let's lift now, and when you're ready, we'll lift the left leg towards the ceiling and then rotate that foot out towards the left, bending the knee so that the left ankle comes to the right thigh. This might be as far as you need to go this morning, or you could lift that right leg off the ground and weave your hands behind your right thigh. Ooh-wee. When we get into these pretty tight spots, we sometimes forget to breathe. So feeling that, imagining that three-dimensional breath coming into your left glute here. Maybe inviting some little rocking movement side to side. But really going in and in, inviting the breath deeper and deeper. And then we'll inhale, exhale, right foot comes to the floor, left foot extends. Let's roll out that left ankle. And then left leg can slowly extend towards the floor. And then left heel slides up to meet the right, and we'll extend the right leg towards the sky. And then right toes turn towards the right as you bend that right ankle over the left thigh. And then inhaling, if this works in your body, and thread your hands behind the left thigh. Releasing any holding in your jaw, behind your eyes, and your shoulders. Maybe rocking side to side. And then on an exhale, the left leg comes to the floor. Right leg extends, rolling out the ankle. And then slowly releasing that right foot towards the floor. Take your time here to either set yourself up right now for Shavasana, or take any last movements that your body is calling for. Maybe dropping both knees to one side for a gentle twist, and then the other side. Taking time, if you'd like to put on another layer. Finding your way into a supported, reclined position, maybe putting a bolster or pillow under your knees. Maybe pulling something over your eyes. Finding your rest here. Feeling free to stay here. You would like more time in Shavasana, or bringing some gentle movement to your fingers and toes. Feeling your breath arrive more fully into your belly. Be picturing that bright light in your navel center, your heart, where all breath is gathered at the end of your exhale. And then imagining that light expanding through the physical body and beyond on the inhale. And taking your time and allowing your eyes to be gently closed. Maybe finding your way first onto your side and pausing there. Really taking note of this transition between rest and wakefulness. Eventually finding your way back to a seated position. Calling forth once again your intention for your practice or for the day. Linking that intention with that felt sense of expansive breath. Bringing your hands to heart center. May I be safe and free from harm. May I be kind and warmed by the kindness of others. May I know peace. Calling to mind someone who needs a little extra love and light in their life right now. May you be safe and free from harm. May you be kind and warmed by the kindness of others. May you know peace. And calling forth all beings near and far. May we be safe and free from harm. May we be kind and know the kindness of others. And may we know peace. Namaste, friends. Thank you so much for practicing today.